We have heard a lot of people who use the word healing to imply something they do in order to take a rest and recover from the mental health problems or any kind of stress. People have been posting themselves taking vacation somewhere in order to heal their mental health problems, doing all kinds of relaxations to forget about their depression, their anxiety, their work stress. While taking a break can be one of the things recommended to people with mental health problems, it is, however, not the true definition of healing. Many people come back from their vacation and they are still faced with the same problems without any new solutions. Many people are only drowning themselves in quick pleasures, waste money and time just to escape, but mental health problems will not disappear by doing that. Clearly, this is one part of it, but there's more to healing than simply going on a vacation. When we are talking about the healing process for our mental health troubles, the solution is not to escape and pretend that our problems somehow disappear, or to indulge ourselves in meaningless distractions. True healing is not about making ourselves feel good immediately. True healing begins by us acknowledging our own pain and problems and to admit to ourselves that for many of our problems, we can only be free after we face them. True healing can be quite uncomfortable or even painful because it involves us looking directly into the core of the problem. One of the most difficult steps is to admit that we are not okay and somehow commit ourselves to find the proper solution to our problems one by one. It requires patience and courage in order to do so. Even when right now we cannot see a way out of our problems, we may see ourselves in a very negative light, but that's okay because admitting that is not weakness. It is a very important step. The process of emotional healing is somewhat like surgery. We need to open up ourselves and look into our lives to find out the root of our problems. In the process of doing so, we may find a lot more things about ourselves that we may not like. But we need to accept that those things are part of us, and while they are part of the reasons why we have problems, it does not mean that problems are who we are. A lot of times, during the process towards better mental health, we may be forced to look at our past, our mistakes, our wrongdoings, and all the things we don't like about ourselves. It is a very heartbreaking and painful part of healing. But this process is important, because if you don't accept those things, and you simply bury it, it will still eat you from the inside. Again, true healing is not about forgetting your problems and to immediately feel good for a while. True process of healing can be very uncomfortable for you. In the process of healing, you will have to face a lot of things you probably don't like about yourself, and it can be very painful. When you finally acknowledge that there are broken parts inside you, it can actually feel like you are being ripped apart, exposed to the world. There may be a strong feeling of regret and shame. Nobody likes to have their ugly selves exposed and to admit that they hold some kinds of responsibilities. This may be why so many people refuse to go through actual healing and would rather spend time doing things that would give them instant gratification. The fact that a healing process will need time, effort, and courage can be intimidating, so people tend to avoid it and try to look for a simpler temporary solution over and over again. Nowadays, people think that healing is something that you do by going on vacations, taking a break from work and go have fun somewhere, to relax someplace quiet and for a while pretend as if your problems don't exist at all. This may help you feel good for a while, but afterwards you will go back to the same problems, the same wounds, the same pain. It is basically similar to how a person may feel physical pain and choose to continuously consume painkillers instead of trying to find the source of the pain and then try to heal it. The only way to make sure that this does not happen again is to find the wounds and to make sure that it is closed properly. Some wounds may heal over time. Some wounds will stay open until you stitch them. When you begin a process of healing, it may hurt at first, but only after you face it will you understand why it hurt and to begin your journey into finding who you really are beyond the pain, beyond the mistakes, and beyond the problems. They are a part of you, but they should not define you. Sometimes in order to heal, we need to correct the labels that are inside of us, whether if it was something others said to us once or the things we say about ourselves in order to make ourselves feel bad. We can try fixing that part of us so we would not be weighed down by those negative labels. You cannot carry things that hurt you and expect they will disappear on their own. It takes courage to face our problems, to look at how broken we may be and to embrace the fact that bad things indeed happen to us, but we can still grow. It takes kindness towards ourselves to accept our past and embrace our painful experiences. They may be a part of our lives, but at one point in our lives, there comes a time when our lives should not be about how other people messed us up anymore. There comes a time when our lives cannot be about the mistakes we did in the past anymore. Even when it still hurts, even when we cannot fully accept our mistakes at first, even when our past might not change, we can heal by understanding that our experiences may affect us, but we can choose to let go of the things that are not beneficial to us anymore. We can change all the pain, the hurt, the anger, the sadness into a drive that will propel us towards a better future and make us a better person. True healing brings us closure and hopefully a permanent solution to all the problems that we have. This process is not easy. It takes effort. It takes time and patience most people do not have. But once you get through it, you will certainly become better. When you're healing, there may be scars, a little bit of patches that may still be visible. Those are signs that you were courageous enough to face yourself and actually made an effort in mending your brokenness. Even when you are not perfect, you are already good enough. In the end, taking a vacation, eating good meals, trying to divert your attention towards pleasurable things may make you feel comfortable for a while. The joy, the happiness you feel during these kinds of things are short-lived. But in life, some problems you cannot just run away from. Some problems need to be faced head-on, no matter how uncomfortable it is at first. True healing happens when you stop running away from what you feel and take the necessary discomfort in order to be rid of your problems in a more permanent way.